In the description down below, you can find a link to Micro Center with a $100 off coupon on this amazing computer, as well as a free drone coupon, no purchase necessary. That's right, folks. Print out that coupon, go into your local Micro Center, and get a free drone without even buying anything.
Scary.
Hello, everybody. We are here with your SKADI guide, also known as your KALDIR guide. We'll be playing SKADI in the mid lane because SKADI really does like a power based build, which means she really prefers starting with Transcendence, something that is a lot harder to get away with in the dual lane where you almost have to get a Devo gloves. So we're going to be rocking her in the mid lane. SKADI is not particularly meta right now anywhere on the map. She's not garbage, she's just not particularly in the top. She's not really a top hunter mid laner. She's not really a top hunter dual lane, so she's kind of just in this weird in-between zone. So we'll be grabbing our standard hunter middle build though, with tier 2 Transcendence, 3 health pots, 3 multi-pots for sustain, and our beads.
Minions have spawned.
We're gonna get right into our first ability here. One of our simplest abilities on SKADI. This is going to be a line-based ability that we throw out. It's going to go through minions, deal damage to everybody, goes through gods, slaps everybody all around, and it does damage, and it slows them for 3 seconds. The one fun part about this is it does combine with Kaldr. Kaldr is going to be our passive. He's our big puppo boy, and our Kaldr's basic attacks are going to deal double damage to targets that are affected by piercing cold. So for those 3 seconds, targets are going to take some extra damage from those Kaldr autos. So you can see that even though I haven't put a point into my level 2, I can already utilize my doggo, and I can send it out on the map. The doggo has 5 individual hit points. Those 5 individual hit points represent 5 autos in order to kill him. Abilities will not affect the doggo. It also gets to do the fun minion damage dealio, which is it takes 5 minion autos, equivalent to 1 god auto.
Enemy spotted.
Things are about to get crazy over here by this red buff. Gonna throw out my SKADI there onto Loki. We're gonna try to get some damage on. Ooh, that's actually a thought dash in and a really dead Pele. So I'm gonna back right on out of here and just go towards our red buff. The ability we got at level 2 is our Permafrost. You throw down ice at the target location for 5 seconds. When SKADI runs over this ice, you gain increased movement speed. It does damage to targets that are hit by it, as well as damage to targets that continue to stand on it. It is a slow on enemies of 15%. And it is also a unique type of CC. That unique type of CC is a slide. So an opponent maintains their momentum when they step onto SKADI ice, and they will continue to slip that direction. If they encounter anything while they're bouncing on the SKADI ice, they will continue to bounce around. So if you throw a SKADI ice like this, and an opponent walks on it, they'll walk forward, they'll hit this, and then they'll bounce back, they'll hit this wall, and then they'll bounce back, and they'll go this way. They'll just keep sliding around the ice as long as they are on it. This makes it a very good form of CC in tight locations where you can get people bouncing off each other, where you can get people bouncing off of walls and stuck on stuff. Don't mind me just backing up. This also means that we can use this ability to help us get back to lane a little bit quicker. We can throw it down. It's going to give us that nice bonus movement speed. As we continue to rank this ability up, we'll get extra damage, damage per tick, extra movement speed, and the circle will grow larger, so it'll be an even bigger radius affected by all of this. Makes it easier to hit all sorts of good stuff. Hey. Then we have our 2. This is our Puppo ability. Like I said, you get access to this ability regardless of putting points into it. But once you start putting points into it, it does gain some bonus effects. Those bonus effects at 1 point into it, Kaldr gains a dash attack. This is actually pretty important to make sure that we grab on SKADI. It basically just means that Kaldr will do that little jump animation that you just saw to go attack an opponent. This helps be a little gap closer for Kaldr, him get in range, and it does bonus damage as well. As we continue to put points into it, Kaldr's basic attack damage percent of our damage will go up. So he does percent damage based on how much attack damage we have, which means that building power is very nice for our Puppo to give him some more damage. I'm probably dead here, but we're going to be able to get our Transcendence and a couple of wards. Once you get 3 points into this ability, Kaldr's kills will heal him. So basically it gives him some of his little HPs back. And all 5 points into it, his basic attacks actually give SKADI 10% increased movement speed. Then we have got our ultimate. Our ultimate is we literally chuck the Puppo, just boom. We throw the Puppo right on out. If the Puppo is dead, it gets all of its HP back. Regardless, it goes all the way up to max HP. It will do damage at the target location, do damage over time. Kaldr gets this big bleed over time on him. It will also do this effect around SKADI's location, and it will root targets for 1 to 2 seconds, depending on how much you have this ability ranked up. This lasts for 4 seconds, and it does the damage proc every 0.5 seconds. And so we've talked about the Puppo a lot. The Puppo is officially our passive.
Enemy missing.
Kaldr has 2 forms. He has got his beast and elemental form. While he's in the beast form, he can attack enemies and be attacked. So you can see right now, he's in this little ghosty form. This little ghosty form, he cannot be attacked. He's basically invulnerable. And then he's got his proc form, where I'm actually using him for damage, where he comes out, kind of becomes solid, starts doing damage, and he can be attacked in this. The most important part about all this is that he is considered a pet. He gets 50% of SKADI's attack speed and 110% of SKADI's movement. That's really the most important part about all of this. The one thing about Kaldr being dead is that SKADI actually gains 10% additional physical power when Kaldr is completely dead. So when you're missing out on all the HP, when all 5 are gone, SKADI gains an additional 10% physical power. So yes, this does mean that kind of sacrificing Kaldr can be a viable strat, actually. You try to get 10% physical power, but for the most part, you're just using him for all the awesome damage that he outputs, particularly in the later stages of the game. For the most part, you're trying to utilize the fact right here that he gains this basic attack damage. A lot of Kaldr's damage is actually going to come from this dash auto that's going to rank up and eventually do 130% of your basic attack damage, which is a lot of the reason why we end up building SKADI pretty power heavy, because this initial dash attack will do so much, and it is the most reliable of the Kaldr damage output. So that's really what we're speccing for. I'm gonna see if I can't make it over towards this Thoth dashes down. I'm gonna try to go over here. I'm gonna throw down my puppy to go in and attack, throw down my Permafrost on people, just land a couple of autos. I don't even think I have to ultimate. Wait a second, I'm gonna ulti right onto this hot sheet, pop my beads, stand behind Kaldr, and let Kaldr body block for me. So one implication of having this pet is that he does body block autos. So if you're fighting another hunter, this means that you can keep Kaldr in between you and your the enemy hunter, and that will allow Kaldr to potentially body block up to 5 auto attacks for you, which is obviously extremely strong. When you're going against a mage, not quite the same dealio. Abilities will go right through Kaldr. They do not affect him, so like a Thoth one is just gonna go right through and smack me in the dome. Come on, guys. Gonna grab a couple more wards out, throw down my 3 so I can get a little bonus movement speed back to lane. And we've grabbed our warrior Tabi. You can see I'm going a very heavy damage power build right now. And for my 3rd item, I'm going to get Crusher. Crusher is going to give me a little bit more power, a bunch more ability damage, and just a slight bit of attack speed. Now, I won't have any life steal, which I have to be careful of. Lifesteal and SKADI is okay, but I do prefer to get a Blood Forge when at all possible for my lifesteal on SKADI in the mid lane, but Blood Forge is a little bit more of a mid-game kind of fourth slotty item, and so I'm going to get the Crusher to continue going this a little bit cheaper build in the early game. For our official leveling order on SKADI, you are of course going to rank up your ultimate whenever you can, because that is going to increase that root duration and the damage. Honestly, most importantly is that root duration, which really sets them up for all of your abilities. Then we rank up our 1. This is our main form of wave clear. It's also going to increase the slow, which is fantastic. We love increasing the slow on this, helping Kaldr catch up. Then we're going to rank up Kaldr, finally ranking up our 3 last. I like ranking up Kaldr second because his damage output coming online by about the 15-minute marker really will start to put pressure on gods like Thoth, who I'm against this game, who I can just send Kaldr at, and in order to kill Kaldr, he has to basically sit there and just auto-attack him, which is not something that he wants to have to do, and it will just put so much pressure on him. Let's go see if we can't find ourselves a little bit of action over here in the dual lane. Umoja might have backed right there, or she might be over here, actually, by the purple buff. I feel like I just saw a little walking animation. Maybe not. All right, let's go back it up again. Get a little bit closer to our Crusher. So our ultimate, like I said, damage per tick, root duration, fantastic. 1, damage slow, awesome. 2, as we rank this up, we get this basic attack increase, we get the increase on the leap. These last 2 points, the rank 3 and 5, I'm actually not super concerned about on the Kaldr ability. That's not why we level this. We level this because of these first 2 parts where you're getting extra percentage of SKADI's damage. That's really, really important. Our 3 is awesome to rank up. It's also a better getaway skill because we throw down this, we're going to get even more movement speed as we continue to rank this up. But as long as I'm not behind, as long as I feel as though I can play aggressively, I rank up the 2 before the 3. If you were getting your butt kicked, if you felt like you were feeding and you needed some increased getaway skill, you could rank up your 3 before the 2. Get yourself that extra movement speed, make this circle bigger so it's harder for melee characters to engage on you, stuff like that. But preferably, you're winning the lane, which means you get to play a little bit more aggressive and level up the 2. So SKADI does not have a traditional getaway skill. We've gone through all of her abilities. No leap, no dash. Really, she only has that movement speed increase, which means that you have to be very careful when playing SKADI. You have to play back a lot farther than other hunters do. Most hunters, particularly hunters that usually end up in the meta, have escape skills. It's part of the reason why SKADI isn't very meta right now, is the fact that she is easy to kill. What does this mean for us? It means that we've got a lot of gods that we're super concerned about, particularly those get-in-your-face gods, like Set, who is extremely popular right now, who can just kind of blink onto us or then teleport onto us or then slow us. He's got so many things to just run us down. Those are the types of gods that we don't want to go against. A Raven, same kind of concept. He can ulti on you, he can blink on you, he's got a slow, he's got a root, he can avoid your slow, he can avoid your root. He just holds down the W key. The W key is what you're worried about on SKADI, and to be fair, on also all characters really in Smite that don't have a real getaway skill. You're always super nervous about the W key. On top of the W key, you are also nervous about gods that can make walls for reasons that I think should be pretty straightforward. You can't get over or around them, really. This means that gods like Ymir, Thor, Odin, anybody that can create a wall and block you off, even a Kabrakan, all of these gods become really detrimental because you can't escape and you're just stuck there, and if you don't have your actives up, you really should be dead every single time. So you have to be very concerned. So for me this game, I'm against a Umoja. Umoja obviously has a big fat wall that is very problematic. It means that my positioning has to be stupidly good to not get caught out and just killed over and over again. 4 gods though, now that we've talked about all the bad for SKADI, 4 gods that you are good against though. It's not all gloom and doom. SKADI is actually pretty good against gods that do not have leaps. Aww. I'm almost soloing this, but the whole team went to kill the Hachi instead of getting the Oni Fury. That sucks. Because Kaldr is so good at chasing people down, as long as they can't jump over a wall, Kaldr is basically going to reach them. Think of it kind of like Argus, where Argus is going to chase anybody down as long as they can't jump over a wall and create that distance between you. So I really like SKADI into gods. Even like a Thought is actually not bad at all because I can throw Kaldr at him and just kind of have him run away at him. But anybody with a leap, I just despise SKADI against because you're gonna be out. You can't chase him down really because you're not gonna be fast enough to catch up to him. Kaldr is gonna have to run around the entire wall. But anybody that relies on dashes like a Rama or movement speed, like a Kukulkan, I don't particularly mind it against. Do be careful though against certain gods like Rama that I just mentioned. Rama, Izanami, those type of gods have through auto attacks, meaning that they can hit multiple things with an auto. A large part of SKADI winning her fights, particularly in Hunter 1v1 battles, is the fact that she can stand behind Kaldr and utilize Kaldr as body blocking. You can't utilize Kaldr as body blocking against a Rama, against an Izanami, because their autos are just going to go straight through Kaldr, kill Kaldr, and also be hitting you at the same time. So keep that in mind as well for your SKADI. While we're in these fights, whoa! Hi, Loki. You can kind of see the combo that we're trying to use, our preferable combo. So we like to start walking at somebody. I like to throw Kaldr on someone. As soon as I throw Kaldr on someone, I want to hit them with my 1 as soon as possible. I usually throw Kaldr on somebody before I actually use my 1, so Kaldr can start gaining his momentum and start getting closer to the target. Because as we mentioned earlier, if you have your 1 on a target and Kaldr hits them, he does double damage to the targets because they are afflicted by your piercing cold. So you're going to get a lot more damage out that way. So if you factor in the fact that Kaldr's dash attack does 130% of basic attack damage, and then you're getting double damage on that, now you're starting to see where all of this Kaldr damage really adds up extremely fast. And that is the most basic combo that you're looking to do on SKADI. You throw down your 2, you throw down your 1 before Kaldr can get there. You slow them, Kaldr catches up, Kaldr smacks them in the head, and then you have your 3 up. You can use your 3 offensively or defensively. Sometimes I recommend keeping it to throw down on yourself, particularly if the enemy has a heavy melee comp. So if I feel like this Loki or this Achilles is about to dive on me, instead of using it aggressively, I'm going to keep it as a defensive one and have it just and have it ready to be able to use on my feet, just like this. That way, if they try to blink on me or something, they'll start slippity sliding, and I have a better chance of getting away from them. A wonderful use of Kaldr is to tank towers for you. So because of the way that his HP works, he's got these 5 HP. You actually saw me utilize Kaldr really effectively over on the Gold Fury before the Thoth came and interrupted us so rudely. I had Kaldr tanking the Gold Fury for me so I could freely attack it. Right when it got down to 1 HP, I used my ultimate. That ultimate reset Kaldr's health, brought him all the way back up to 5, so then I could continue to use him to attack the Gold Fury for 9 total autos. You also saw that the Gold Fury's channeled attack did not do any damage to Kaldr, thus giving me even more time to burn down the Gold Fury. We got it down to about 1800 HP before it even started attacking me, which means that SKADI is pretty good at soloing objectives even without lifesteal. A lot of gods will need the Devo gloves or the Aussie in order to do an objective. SKADI is not in that category. This tactic also works over on the Fire Giant, on the Pyromancer, it works on towers, wherever. So feel free to use this tactic anywhere. Wait until have Kaldir tank. Wait until Kaldir is down to 4. Wait until it's missing 4 HP, down to 1 HP left. Then ulti. If you wait until Kaldir's all the way dead, the problem you're gonna happen is the aggro is gonna reset anyway, and then there was kind of no point for you to do this whole tactic. You're not gonna get to utilize the second hand health of SKADI. Oh my goodness, I am so very dead because there is a whole team here and our whole team is not here. Hi, boys. I believe in us, though. Now we got 3 here and they've already used everything. Thoth dash. That's gonna be a free Thoth kill. Oh no, I think our Izanami's lagging. Luckily, our Hercules has blink. His dash is about to come back up, though. Don't matter. Bada bing, bada boom. Fantastic. For SKADI's abilities, her abilities actually do work through walls extremely well. Everything of hers actually does go through walls except for the puppy. Except with the notable exception, though, of the ultimate. So the 1 will go through walls, the 3 will go through walls, the ulti will go over walls. But if you just use the puppo to attack on the 2 by himself, he can't jump over the walls by himself. You got to give him the extra yeet. But if somebody's right on the other side of the wall, you smash them right through that baby. You throw down your 3. You start putting in the work on these guys. And of course, your ultimate, because it's just a thrown out ability, you can throw it out as well. For tanking camps with SKADI, I wouldn't really recommend using Kaldr. Kaldr dies pretty fast against the jungle camps. You can, if I like throw him up here, you can see just how quick he goes down. That's because jungle camps do not work the way like lane minions do. So lane minions, it actually takes, what did they mention it in here somewhere? It takes, right here, lane minion, 1 HP lost per 5 hits, but every other source of damage, it loses 1 per hit. This includes jungle camps. So while Kaldr is crazy good at tanking the fire giant because it's 1 HP per fire giant hit, he's really bad at tanking things like the back harpies because it's 1 HP per harpy hit, which means he's losing 3 HP pretty much every auto, which is just stupid for tanking. So you're better off tanking it and just utilizing him for his damage. I'm gonna get a ward over by the fire giant. And while I'm over here, I'm gonna go look at an Achilles actually. I've got some good pen online. I got a little flat pen in my crusher. We got the percent pen with our Atalantis. I'm gonna throw down my doggo onto the Achilles. I'm gonna hit him with the 1. That's gonna slow him down, and my doggo's gonna do some extra damage. I'm gonna throw down my 3 aggressively on him, so as he keeps going, he is just slippity sliding through this. I gotta be real careful to get behind him and not in the execute range. Now that he is ultied, I was gonna follow up with an ulti on him, but my Pele already hit him with the ult. Let's go right to the fire giant. We see them over on the Gold Fury. So instead of us going to the Gold Fury, we're going to start up the fire giant. They've got the whole team over there. We've got the Achilles dead. We've got it warded. And instead of rotating all the way over to the Gold Fury, which we're going to be late for, we might as well just try to burn ourselves a fire giant and get the better objective out of the 2, just like that. I'm going to run over and go attack right lane as well. Achilles is dead for 30. We just killed Loki. We saw them all over in right lane. And we're going to get to utilize some of our Kaldr tanking. No, Hercules is going to go tank it. That's fine. You can, of course, send your Kaldr to go attack the tower. So let him go smack it with you. You can see his little 135 autos in between my auto attacks. 135 damage on a tower as bonus damage is really good. I'm going to try to catch the Thoth on the way over here. I'm going to pop my 3 for the bonus movement speed. Wait for the Thoth to dash through. Bada bing, bada boom. There's a kill. Remember that your 3 is your movement ability, so sometimes you just kind of use it as basically a speed bot. Gotta be a little bit careful with this Umoja. I'm gonna send down Kaldr onto the tower. I'm a little bit nervous about this, so I'm gonna click my second ability again. This is going to release Kaldr back to me. I don't think I've actually mentioned that so far. When you press Kaldr for the first time, you launch him out on the circle. If you press him a second time, he will start walking back to you. Keep in mind, he does not become invulnerable immediately. He comes back to his ghost invulnerable form after just a couple of seconds. So I'm gonna send Kaldr in to tank the tower. 3, 2, 1. It's got 1 HP left. I'm just gonna ulti right down. So that way Kaldr can just kind of keep tanking. Throwing down a little ice in between me and this Umoja. He hits it, but he hits it. Oh, what a great Ymir wall. Who's walled now, son? That's right, no escaping. Let's go get that left tower. I'm going to throw down Kaldr on the tower. Reminder that when towers reset, they start attacking the closest target to it. As long as you've got Kaldr on the tower, it is always going to be your Kaldr that is in that position. I'm going to throw down some ice kind of here at the Phoenix line. That way, if they try to jump in on me, if they try to blink in on me or anything, I've got a little bit of self-peel there. My main job here on this Phoenix fight is to be going for the Phoenix. Obviously, I have to reset out backwards when there's all this craziness happens, but my priority above all else is just trying to kill this Phoenix. I am a lot of our physical damage, so that is my responsibility. Let's just go ahead and back up out of this. If you've got a target in front of you, nothing wrong with killing the target in front of you, but make sure that you're not like chasing crazy into the back line and trying to get yourself like some chasing kills when you could have gotten a whole Phoenix out for your team and started spawning those fire minions. Now we've got some lifesteal. Bloodforge is going to help keep us alive just a little bit. Because we're rocking this giant power build, something that I love to do with these big power builds, right? Transcendence. Holy cow, look at that power. Bloodforge, boom. Crusher's good power. Atalantis is actually decent power. The Warrior Tabi. I love to pair an oboe with these big power builds for two reasons. One, it is a great team fight item, period. It is very, very good. That damage going around is solid. Two, it is going to give you a bunch of attack speed, making up for the fact that you didn't have a ton of attack speed in your base kit, especially for gods like SKADI who don't have an attack speed stem. And finally, your oboe proc damage is partially based off how much power you have, meaning that if you built a bunch of power, all you're doing is jacking up those numbers from the oboe procs. I love an oboe on hunters as a 5th, 6th item. I love. Running ourselves right back down the mid lane. I throw Kaldr on a target. I hit him with my 1. Force the Achilles to use his ulti. That's fantastic. I'm going to throw down my ulti right here on the Hachi to see if I can't force some Bs, maybe some actives, whatever. We got a Loki in the backline on a turret. I'm probably actually going to go down here. That was a fantastic Loki on me with no actives up, but that's okay. We're going to get ourselves our oboe finished up. Then we're going to start ranking up our actives. So we're going to get our beads ranked up first and then our Aegis. Team might be able to actually push into this Phoenix line. It is going to be pretty close, but we should actually probably reset and get ready for the Fire Giant. Gold Fairy might actually spawn first. Actually, it spawned at about the same time. We know that because we traded it last time, so. But we should just go get set up for that Fire Giant. They might not even actually need me over there. I might be able to go towards the Gold Fairy and get us a Gold Fairy at basically the same time that they go over to do the Fire Giant. So you can see kind of what happened there. The Loki came in on us in the back line. I had already used most of my abilities aggressively. I didn't have my actives up. And because I have no built-in getaway skill, I was in a super susceptible spot to getting ganked. They gotta go kill that Achilles over there. We should actually shove immediately off of this. We shouldn't even back. We're gonna have a nice 5v4. That is a 60-second death timer. I'm gonna grab the red buff while everybody's rotating. And then we head right back to the middle lane and we force this 5v4 with our Fire Giant. I'm going to send Kaldr right into the Phoenix line as soon as I get there. Whether somebody in our team is already tanking or not, who knows. Kaldr going in for the Phoenix line. I'm going in for the Phoenix line. We're both going to start beating on this. Going right over to the right lane. I'm going to go ahead and throw down my slows, throw down my big Kaldr boy over on Yamoja. I kind of want to switch it to Thought. Thought that beats though. So I'm going to call him back and send in Kaldr towards this Phoenix line. We gotta be a little bit careful. This is kind of awkward. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna start tanking it. Wait for the team to get in there. All right, reset it back out. Left Phoenix is about to come up. We should head straight over to the left-hand side Phoenix right now. Get ourselves prepared on that side of the map. Put down this left side Phoenix. Take away what remaining HP we can from the Titan before we actually go into the room. And then we should try to go in the Titan room. I'm gonna Aegis right now. Throw down my 3 on my feet to try to peel myself from the Achilles. and then try to get a little bit of distance between us. As soon as he ulties, I'm gonna follow with my ulti to root him immediately after he lands, because I know he can't use any CC immunity to get out of this. And now I've got a Blood Forge proc. I feel confident to come in here. I'm gonna send my Kaldr onto the Titan, all my abilities on the Titan, and he's gonna go down, no problemo. So you can see, looking at this build, it's not a super hunter style build. It's almost like a mage build, kind of the same concept of back in the day when you used to see like the Neath and the Ulers mid. They don't run a traditional hunter build in the mid lane. Same kind of thing with that. We're really rocking a big power bursty build based around our abilities and the fact that Kaldr biting is gonna do a bunch of damage with our additional power. At the very end of that game, all we had left was to sell one. We could actually see 10,000 structure damage. Thank you, power builds, as well as Kaldr. At the end of the game, all we would have done there is sold our warrior Tabi. The world is your oyster on that 6th item. You want another healing item? Boy golly, get yourself an Aussie. Do you just want a bunch of damage? Get a Kins. By the time you get to that point in your build post Oboe, a Kins is gonna decimate through tankier targets. Gonna add so much damage to you. They've got that Loki on their team. He keeps ulting me and I keep having my actives down. Well, then I build my Mantle of Discord so I can try to live through the combo. All fantastic items for you guys. And that is our SKADI guide.